What's up? Welcome back, Dawson's Automotive. Oh man, you guessed it. We got a new project going. I know. Another new project. But hey, this one's kind of cool. We're doing Rat Rod Magazine's doing a $5,000 Rat Rod build off. It started a couple months ago, I believe, kind of roughly. It's Christmas Day, actually, 2023. Kind of a good day to fart around with some junk. And this is supposed to be done July 1st, 2024. Again, $5,000 budget, gotta be roadworthy, all that good jazz. You know, I mean, it's gotta make a few miles. But the biggest rule, 5,000 bucks. So, this is what we're starting with. We actually started yesterday with a different cab. And biggest problem with it was it's just a shade different green. It's in so much better shape. Both doors are on. I messed around, got the windows working, got the doors open and latching really nice, started trimming her out, and onto a different cab. So whatever, we're on it. Let's show you guys. So we got like a 42 Lincoln hood that I've already kind of trimmed down, roughly got it to fit. We're working with a 41 to 46-ish, I believe, Ford cab. I've got a couple of these cabs and I picked them all up really cheap. I think I gave like 200 bucks a piece for these cabs. That one was certainly the best shape. This one, you know, we're gonna have to cut out the floorboard and stuff anyways, but the door's not on this one. The top looks like a freaking meteor hit it or something. But it's the right shade green, and I just I slipped her together yesterday and looked, and the green was just bothering me, so I had to swap it. So yeah, short little box, or not short box, decent box. Got to be a little bit narrower than stock, so I just went in and knocked the floor out of it. We do got to shorten it up here like 5 inches. Using the old S10 chassis. I picked the box up for 200 for the cab. I think I gave 100 bucks for the box. Again, it did have a floor, but it was roached. You know, if you really look at these sides, they're pretty roached too. So that's why I got such a good bargain. The S10 chassis is leftover from past projects, whatever. You know, what's an S10 chassis these days? Like 400 or 500 bucks. You know, I mean, it's pretty the most reasonable chassis swap I think out there. The wheels are nothing great. I mean, I don't even know if you've 100 bucks maybe. So we're really not much into it. The biggest money is whoop-boom, right under there. Let me get that off. So we got us a nice little small block Chevy. Believe it or not, this was a marketplace find. Good deal, listed for 1,500 bucks. Caught it like a few minutes after it was listed. Called the guy immediately. He sent me some videos of it. You know, assured me that it ran good. Come out of a mud truck. Blah 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 blah. He's not going to use it. Basically, 350 with a blower and dart heads. That's the way it was advertised. So, yep, we got the dart heads. That's pretty cool. Got a little B&M supercharger, nothing big. I think it's, you know, like a 144 or something like that. Little guy, but whatever. On the back of the cylinder head though, I did clean her all up. I don't know if I can get you guys in there. I'll try. I don't know if you can see that. On the back of the head though, it does say 383. So it was greasy as a pig when I got it. I ran it through the car wash on the way home. Got it home, looked it over, and seen that 383. Was not advertised that way. The guy I got it from had just picked up a mud truck for some axles. He didn't care about the motor. So the guy I got it from don't really know much about it, is what I'm saying. So who knows? Could be a 383. Could be some writing on the wall, but I don't know why someone would put that on there. And it is pretty old. So hopefully we got a 383. If not, hopefully we just got something that runs good. Personally, I've never heard it run. Personally, I've never drove it. So hopefully it's good. 2 barrels a little strange. I don't know. I'm not for sure why someone would do that. Maybe drop a comment down. I mean, I know done some derbying in the day, and a 2-barrel on derby cars better. I don't know about a mud truck, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why that would be on there. Seems kind of silly with a supercharger, but anyways, transmission, it's a rebuilt. Local Kenny Champ built that one for me. I covered up a sticker so we didn't destroy it, but like $1,000 in the tranny with torque converter, so kind of some money there. $1,500 on the motor, you know, $500 in the chassis, let's say, and you know, another, you know, $300-400 in the hood and stuff. So what's that put us? You know, we're like three, you know, little over 335s. You know, roughly budget here. I've got some headlights, got some other stuff here. We'll dig out. So it doesn't leave us a whole lot of padding on there. It leaves us, you know, $1,000-2,000 to kind of finish this thing up. We still got to wire it, plumb it, you know, put a new windshield in it. We got to put a box floor in it. We got to buy some steel. So kind of a challenging budget, but I like that. I've done quite a few cheaper than that, but that was many years ago. And COVID jacked everything up. Not really a fan of the S10 chassis per se, but again, COVID, whatever, you know, hot rod parts have just like, whoo, man, oh man. So that's kind of why we're going this route, is because we've already got power steering, we've already got brakes, we've already got disc brakes in the front, we've already got leaf spring rear suspension. It's already kind of done, is what I'm saying. Just slip it together and go with it. So hopefully gonna have a hot rod pretty quick. I don't anticipate running up to the deadline at all. I figure we'll have this done. I'm just working on this, kind of piddling with this here and there, and I hope that we wrap this up in a couple months. So that's enough yakking. Let's start cutting some stuff up. Looks like immediately I'm gonna have to cut out this belly in the frame, right where the transmission cross member is. You know, the frame kicks out and then it really bellies right here, and then it kicks back straight back in there. So I think we can cut that off, cut that off, get rid of this belly, and it'll go right inside this cab. We can get that cab to set down on there. I don't particularly want to channel it a bunch, I don't think, just because I don't know why, because I just don't want to, I don't think. I think we'll channel it down a couple inches, but other than that, I don't mind a little bit of the chassis showing. I do plan on using this truck. I plan on putting a trailer on the back of it. I plan on throwing materials in the back, a motor, whatever. I plan on using this sucker. So kind of the fun of building a rat rod, and especially a low buck one, you don't have to worry about it too much. So enough talking, let's get to it. All right, we're onto the chassis. Kind of roughly mocked her up a little bit. We got about 6 inches longer wheelbase than we need, so we got a gap there in between the chassis, or the cab and the box. So when we do this chassis modification here, we'll just shorten her up a little bit at the same time. So if you kind of look at what we got going on, it dips down here, and it's, you know, it's bellying out here. So how do we get rid of that? Pretty easy. So we just need a nice straight spot to keep us square. You know, a lot of guys get intimidated by this chassis work. You just got to keep it square. Keep it the same. So we got a hole right there, and we got the same hole right there. So I just went on the back side of that hole, both sides. Pretty easy, nice spot, nice and straight right here. So up here, again, it dips down. I don't want that dip down because I want our cab to bolt on there nice and flat. So I just held my yardstick on there, run her out, boom, it's touching all the way across there, if I can do that one-handed. But it touches, so that's kind of how I got my mark. Did that on both sides. It really didn't matter coming down on the side, but just kept her straight all the way around. So we will now have our new outside of our chassis will be something like that on the outside of that. So we're losing, you know, quite a little spot there. Our chassis or our cab, I don't know why I keep saying that, our cab should sit down there nicely. That's what I'm trying to say. So Got some 2x4, nice thick wall, so that should take care of that. And then I'm measuring off of the control arms here on the both sides, and off this cross member. It's riveted in, it's nice and straight, keeps our chassis nice and rigid right here, and then this is plenty rigid here, so nothing should spring or move. And I've got a good strong spot to measure off of on both sides. I've already got my pre-cut measurement, so we'll just take 6 inches from that and bring her ahead a little bit, put in those new bars, and new chassis, here we come. All right, well, we got chassis whacked and tacked back together. You know, still got a little finishing to do. Plan on flipping the chassis over later, so I'll mess with the bottom later, but got the top, threw a little diamond there, or whatever you're gonna call it, square. Gusseted that up, butt welded it. Did this nice little transition, but that's kind of long down there on both sides. Like I say, I'm gonna flip her over and kind of tie that in, but got a little excited today and knocked out the old transmission mount. Figured I better show that to you before I put it in. Just a piece of 1x2, some scrap. Had this slotted hole in it, worked out perfect. So I just cut that down, made it for my transmission mount, and a couple pieces of angle, pretty easy. I did try to drill and tap it, but I didn't like, I just thought that I needed a little bit more beat on there, so I just put little jack nuts in there. Got them in, so transmission cross member done. I have test fit the cab once. It fits a lot better, but didn't want to cut up the floor and all that good stuff until we kind of got the transmission where we wanted it. So where we're at. All right, back at it. So got the chassis transmission mount done. Set the cab back down. Went ahead and kind of whacked out most of the floor, but it fits nice. So we got lots of room. Kind of slipped one of the headers on. Fits pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Swap meet find. Speedway headers, $100. So happy with that. I'm not for sure yet. Maybe a smaller tire. I don't know if that's going to be an issue. It's not a lot of room. But anyhow, this was kind of blown completely apart, separated. So I just kind of measured, made it the same as the other side, tacked it back together. Going to try to hang the door back on, kind of save this bit of the floor pan. I figured I could kind of save that. It's got a nice little, you know, hump there started, and a couple beads, and really this section of floor, a little seam sealer. I mean, it's a little bad, but a little seam sealer will make her a lot better. The back section is great. So a little patchwork, but it's just fine. So no need to fix it if we don't have to. We'll just fix that. So, but to do the door, gotta get into that. So I'm gonna tackle that. I'm gonna try to weld that back together, and then maybe put a new piece of metal over that. I don't know. We'll see what we get into. All right, back on it. A couple days later, got the door hung. Made it to the junkyard. Got some new tires, or used tires, but got what we got. Some 195 65s up front. Over our 205. Yeah, we had some 205s over here. And then we had some 255s back there. They've kind of ballooned out over the wheel, like them, but terrible shape. So all we could find, biggest, fattest tire we could find was a 235 75. But honestly, not upset. Fits the wheel really nice. And it fits the box good. Once we get that done. Speaking of boxes, we got a box structure going here, floor structure, some 1x2. It's flipped upside down now. We're doing the finish welding, but I figured I'd better get you guys in on it before I put the box sides on. Little 1x1 legs to kind of help hold it. But yeah, we're gonna slap some box sides on it and get it looking like a box, but it's getting there. But anyhow, we got pretty long ways on this box here. Kind of got a lot done. Got the sides on, the front on. That's the old original front. Just had to narrow it up a little bit. And then put this filler panel in. This is left over from the old El Camino. It was the filler flap from that to the tailgate. So yeah, leftovers, kind of cool. Hitch receiver, just something I had laying out there, just cut off an old truck. I kind of save them anytime I junk them. Heated it up a little bit to get it to, you know, connect to each side. Threw some gussets on there, whatever. It's welded up pretty good. Part of it now. So box is pretty well done. You know, hitch receiver fits pretty nice. I like that. Box kind of comes around nice. We need to get a tailgate, tail lights, you know, that good stuff, rear bumper, that kind of stuff going. But we did go ahead and get gas tank going. So we did have a couple options. That one, it's got a rust hole in it. That's the original one. But I'm afraid with seat mounts, and maybe you might have to clearance that tunnel just a little bit more for drive shaft. Just went in and picked up this new fuel cell. So I'll have to check the old Amazon price. I think it was a couple $100. But we got a fuel sender, new tank, you know, it's like 19 gallon, brand new. So kind of got that mounted, had a whole bunch of angle iron, so kind of used it up. Not the prettiest mount, but it works, and kind of bolts up from the bottom. Holds it really well, should clearance the drive shaft nicely, so happy with that, working out. Yeah, so rear bumper, kind of started messing with that. And like I say, my father-in-law, he's got a 67 Mustang. I painted up for him a couple years ago when I had the body shop, whatever. This is the old bumper off of it. It was kind of banged up, you know, whatever. Not looking so good. So it was a freebie because he was going to toss it, and I saved it. Hacked the ends of it off there, whatever. And I think that's probably going to look pretty good. Pretty happy with that. So I think that's probably what we're going to work on now. I got these old steel pistons. This was in my swap meet pile for stuff I was selling. I don't even know where I come up with these things, but they're kind of neat. I remember coming across a whole bunch of them, and I just sold them off the swap meets, you know, one by one. And yeah, I got a couple left. Thought they'd make neat taillights though. I mean, that's like perfect size for a taillight, welded onto the end of that. Going for the rat rod thing, kind of cool. So I think that's what we're gonna do. What else? Oh, tires. Yeah, tires look great. They fit great. Really happy with that. So I think the lift is not quite down. There we go, it's all the way down. So yeah, it's sitting on there. Really happy with how that's the tires worked out, and they were dirt cheap. They were like $40 some a piece. So yeah, super dirt cheap on the tires. Pretty happy with that, and they're like brand new, so can't complain there. Same with the fronts, so like brand new, and really fit nice. Let's see, yeah, just kind of getting her fit together. Oh, steering column, that's something else I've been messing around with. Boned out a couple of Connell lines, like mid 60s I think this one was. It was like an old super van. You know, the flat nose, like fridge style. Anyhow, good column, or gearbox, I mean, and column, really. Had a nice horn button and turn signal and all that stuff. I saved the mount, so plan on using this. Do want to reuse the steering box for something else later, so I'm going to cut that off nicely, and we'll kind of get that finished, disassembled, and that's going to be our steering wheel and steering column. Groovy, super happy about that. So whatever, there was another tailgate option. I don't know. Been busy trying to collect parts. Place is a mess. Trying to see what I got, what I don't got, see what's gonna work. Radiator's the biggest situation. Really struggling with that because there's just not enough room up front with that hood I want to run. So I don't know, might try to stick something under the box. It's kind of something I'm playing with, tinkering with that idea, but let's keep trucking on it today. Maybe mess with this back in here. Well, I got them fitting pretty good. I just whittled it away a little bit at a time, just kind of grinding out little pieces. But yeah, slapped in some used bumper bolts. I think that will work out just fine. I think I'm going to weld it straight to it. Let it rust back out. That'll be our bumper and taillights. Alright, what do you think? That looks pretty cool, huh? I like it. Turned out good. Looks good from the sides. This is like a cast, you know, so it really did not like welding. But I welded it inside and out. Had this baby nice and warm. I don't think it's going to come off for a taillight. Did just go ahead and weld it straight to the box. So the bumper will come off with the box. Just need to scuff that blue off that filler panel and it'll look good. I figure if the bumper gets bent or something happens, I probably got bigger problems, like the bumper's welded on. So I don't figure that's going to be that big of an issue. Like, I don't plan on taking it off. It's a rat rod. It's not getting painted. Like, what's it need to come off for? I don't know. I'm happy with it. It's mine. That's all that matters. It fits around the hitch receiver. Love that. Gonna have nice room there. Probably throw the license plate kind of up in here. You know, maybe throw like a little license plate light up in there. Lights it up. That'd be kind of cool. And throw the plug on this side for the trailer. I love the way the box kind of just comes around the hitch receiver. Like, it looks good. It finished out nicely. So we got tailgate back here left to do. Well, and taillight lenses. So I'm waiting on taillight lenses. That'll be kind of a surprise. We'll do that later. But tailgate, can't do a tailgate till we do a box floor because I want the tailgate to fold down and be flush with the floor. I don't know what to do with the floor yet. I got lots of options. Got a bunch of leftover lumber from a lot of projects, so it's kind of basically free. Some 2x8s and stuff that are some scraps that I think would fit in here or whatever, but I don't know if I want to go that thick, or I've got some like 3/4 inch plywood that wouldn't look bad if we stained it up or something. I got like the bargain bin, the hardware store. I don't know, might do something like that. I got some steel. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do with the box floor yet. So I got to wait on the tailgate, I guess is what I'm saying. I think we'll work on the dreaded radiator situation today. Ever since I put that hood on there, it just does not leave enough room for the radiator at all up front. Never dealt with a situation like that. Like, usually, you know, we could find like a small T-bucket radiator or something. I went down to like a Falcon radiator, which is like the smallest 3-core or aluminum radiator I could find. I mean, this thing is small. And it's not even gonna work, like not even close. So, gonna have to go rear mounted. Never done that before. Hope it cools. Man, am I worried about that. Because I already have enough cooling problems. Don't want to deal with more cooling problems, and this seems like more cooling problems. I hope not. I had a bus once, and it had like a side mounted radiator in it for like heat and air conditioning and stuff. And I thought, well, why not try to kind of adapt that concept? A lot of guys, you know, put them up here in like roll bars and stuff, and I'm not interested in seeing it. I want it to be underneath the floor. I thought about doing something back here, like laying at an angle, but honestly, that radiator would work. Then it's just kind of like, how do you get to the radiator cap and stuff like that? I think this one's going to work out pretty good. So I think, like I say, we'll do something long, skinny here is what I was thinking. So I was kind of looking along them lines. In a Jeep Cherokee, oh yeah, the lovely modern day products. Anyways, Jeep Cherokee has a very nice small radiator. I think it's like 12 or 13 inches here, like 3 foot. So it works out pretty good. This one's supposed to be a 3-core, and they're a 4.0. You know, and honestly, like, this is a 5.0, you know, 5 liter, 5.7 liter, whatever. So you're not talking much more liter size. They say to compare horsepower range, you know, obviously we're a little bit more, but this radiator is a 3-core versus, you know, a stock Jeep radiator would be like a 1-core. I don't know. I'm really trying to sell myself on this idea is what I'm saying. Got 3 little fans, but brand new out of the box. She was, that's how she showed up. We got another one coming, but they said we got 7 days to return this one. So I'm going to use those 7 days up for mocking it up. So let's see what we can't do here. I'm thinking we just do something simple along the bottom. I need like some little rubber. You know, I'm sure these were setting in like some rubber donuts factory. I don't have anything like that, so I got some electrical grommets. I'll probably find something a little nicer, but something about that thick should work. And then I got a piece of C-channel, nothing fancy. I'm thinking we just drill some holes, set that down on it. It's got some bolt holes up top, so should be pretty easy to bolt up. I don't know, let me know. What do you guys think? How's it gonna work? I hope it's gonna work all right. We'll soon find out. I sure hope it's not a terrible mistake, because after we do all this, it's gonna be pretty hard to change it later. But I'm thinking we knock a couple lightning holes in here and suck air from the side, and it's kind of down there. It should get lots of air driving, I would think. I don't know. We'll find out. Get to it. All right, just like that, it's done. Took that C-channel, drilled the holes, whatever. A couple pieces of angle iron up top. I'll show you that up there, but most of it's down here. Yeah, just reuse the old gas tank bolt up there. Gonna come down with simple solid rod there. And same over here, just reused the hole that was in the frame already. Didn't even notice the old gas tank strap bolt right there. Wished I would have, but that's okay. Got that one there, come down, you know, it's pretty beefy, so it's removable. Same with the top, so we get plenty of air through the side. We're gonna end up having to plumb our lines down the chassis. We can get our transmission lines down through there. So I think we got plenty of room for the drive shaft. I'm thinking I'll run a safety loop on the front and the back, just in case it ever was to come out and didn't, you know, beat against these two. But yeah, show you the top. Pretty simple up here, just a piece of angle iron on both sides, bolt, nothing fancy. So probably just weld that bolt there to the chassis. That way you just unbolt it. You don't have to worry about getting a wrench up there. And what else? I plan on kind of making some kind of door here anyways because of the gas. So I figured it's convenient to have the gas and the radiator. They're both, you know, right up here where you can get to it. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe try to sandwich the battery down in here too. Might try that. But yeah, other than that, we're knocking things off the list. Coming along, I think that'll work. Hopefully it cools it. I'm thinking in theory the long radiator hoses going from the front to the back should kind of help too. And there's going to be virtually no grill and the engine will be kind of exposed. I don't know, hopefully we don't have any cooling issues. So yeah, it's mocked up, should work. Break it apart and weld her up, but on to the next thing. Figured I'd do the battery tray next. Didn't want to go up there because we got that, you know, restriction of airflow, and I don't know what I was thinking up there. So back here, got lots of space. I wanted to kind of center it up here in the center, but I also don't want to see it, you know, from the back side. Problem with the battery is it's got to come up out of that tray. So we had to be below that cross member there, and that didn't work out. So it kind of works out here. The battery can kind of slam in between there, and then we can just weld it right here to this cross member, weld it right here, Pretty simple, just the old junkyard mount. Welded some 1x2 to it, so nothing fancy, but the battery fits. Like I say, nicely in there. Kind of get her setting. Yeah, that's not bad. Got good clearance all the way around. And it can even come up just a little bit. From the back side, you know, it's not hanging way down. It was another couple inches down before, so you're really seeing it. So yeah, and on this side, you got the starter on this side. I don't know, and even I'm not a small guy, and I can easily crawl underneath the back of this thing if you got to take the battery out on the side of the road or jump start it or whatever. I think it's just easy enough, user friendly still. So whatever, weld it up, call that done, move on to the next thing. At least the back's pretty well finished up. Yeah, the camera didn't want to play nice, but today got the shifter going. Cool. And literally just kind of got that tacked in there, just started working on the steering. I got the seat setting in there. Give you the old captain's view. Get our wheel up on here. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. That should be cool. Old shift knob sticks up above the dash. That's pretty cool. Works good. Had to kind of do a little rebuilding on her. It was a swap meet job, and I could see why after getting into it. Kind of had some stuff that needed to. This pin in here was broke, and some of this stuff was cracked. I had to rebuild this whole linkage. It was messed up. It was like a hardened steel, and as soon as you even touched it, it would like crack. So I just remade it. Whatever. Goes through all the gears. Kind of polished down first and second because it had like a notch here to where you couldn't go from first to second real smooth. I don't like that, so got rid of that. There's drive, neutral. Got to push down to get it in reverse, and then you got to push down pretty good to get her into park. Kind of a struggle to kind of get it pushed down in and out of park, to be honest, but I don't mind that. You really got to push down on it, and at first I kind of didn't like that, and I was going to get rid of it, but now that I got a little guy, I don't want him yanking it out of park, so I think I'm going to leave it, because it's definitely safe that way, and it works fine. So yeah, and put in a couple lightning holes over here for airflow. I think 3, 2.5, and 1.5 inches. Kind of had to step them up because that's the way the frame goes, but yeah, looks kind of cool. Sorry about the camera, but it's just how it goes, I guess. I'm gonna keep on working on that steering, but we're getting. So today I got the steering column going, got that knocked off the box. We need a bearing for down here though to put inside here, because that originally would have went around the steering box. So gonna have to run to town, see if the parts store's got something we can make work. Before we do that, might as well make it worth it. I'm gonna take a drive shaft in also. So I've got the original drive shaft there out of the S10. That's got our good joint, so we can take that with us, show them what we need. So we just need to go from this drive shaft to that. I've got the joint I just pulled out of here. So hopefully that'll be pretty quick and easy for them guys. The front, I found another drive shaft, too long, but it already had a GM yoke. It was something I was making in the past, apparently. So it's already got a GM yoke and a good U-joint in it, brand spanking new. So like I say, I was making that drive shaft for who knows what. Apparently it didn't work. Hopefully this one does. So my plan is to just weld that on there like so. And then this U-joint will be new. We only got to go get the one. So that's the plan. Weld that on there real quick. Luckily it's got this nice straight flange here I can measure off of. Usually I just measure off the center of the joint. I did that also, but it does have this nice straight flange. So I can measure up. Usually if you just kind of mark it in a couple places and then go around it with a piece of tape, you pretty near always get a straight line. I believe I got one this time also, so straight enough anyways for what we're doing. Hopefully I've done this a couple times and it's always worked, so hopefully it works this time. Disregard that time apparently, but you know, whatever. And just like that, it's on. Did a double pass over it, so I don't know, kind of ugly in some spots, but it's strong. That's what's gonna matter. And this end's all cleaned up, so I think we're gonna go to town and see if we can't get a U-joint and some steering stuff. And we're back. They didn't have a bearing for a steering column, nor did they have a U-joint for a drive shaft. I wasn't surprised on either one. Hopefully we get a couple things ordered, but come back, jumped onto the power steering. So we had, what do we have here? This little guy here was hooked up to the box, and it had the elbow on there, and this guy was hooked up to the steering, looped back around, and there was just a piece of rubber connecting that to that there. So simple. That's the return. That's the return on the power steering box. Boom, bang. Simple, simple. Goes right back on. The supply, different story. You can kind of see I got our script together. I'm going to try to reuse this original fitting here and line and see if we can't weld them back together. And I've got a little flare tool there, see if we can't shorten this line up maybe, and instead of it going down at an angle, it'll just come straight down in like that, just kind of go straight down. So I don't know, we'll see. Get her welded up real quick, and guess at least we get something done today. Well, power steering line's all done. Worked out pretty good. Hopefully we don't have no leaks. Should be fine. It's kind of a stinker to do, but the biggest deal was my little crimper here was low on oil, and makes these nice little, you know, there's your factory piece right there with the factory O-ring, and that's the crimp that I'm doing. So yeah, it worked out pretty slick. I mean, side by side should be no problem with it leaking. So yeah, pretty cool flare kit. Robinair hydraulic flaring kit. That was the GM 3/8 short nipple one, so worked out pretty good. On to the next thing. Alright, I think we'll move on to brakes next. Got us a Speedway pedal kit. Got it from Swap Meet. Like 40 bucks. Great deal. I've had it on the shelf for a minute. And well, it's missing a couple pieces. I knew it was missing some bolts. It was missing that bushing. Turned out to be quite the deal to find. Speedway gets these overseas, so they buy them as a whole unit. No parts available. So finally, was looking for a bushing. Couldn't find one. I was looking in standard. Looked her up in metric. Boom, found one. Amazon, got it coming. Same exact bushing. So cool. Got that coming. Pretty simple setup though. That bolt's on the inside, then your pedal can, you know, you got multiple spots to put your pedal, and then you sandwich that up in there, and makes it pretty rigid. Went ahead and used it to mark out my pattern on the outside. Did set the booster and the master up here, and I think it's going to clear the hood, valve cover, all that good stuff. So should work. Booster, master. Was just going to go single, you know, no boosted brakes. I had this old Chrome Master Cylinder. I've had it around for a long time. Picked it up for like 10 bucks because this ear here is broke off. And I was going to use it on a little T-bucket I was building at the time, but I couldn't get past the ugliness of it, so I didn't. That's how picky sometimes I used to be. Worked perfect on this project. It's a rat rod, you know. Proportioning valve bracket goes around it, holds it nice and secure. Got a fat washer on there. May even put a little fatter washer on there just to kind of make my own washer. It kind of goes around there a little bit better. Don't want that to break. But, you know, I'll look into that later. We're just mocking it up for now. Proportioning valve, Amazon job, like 25 bucks. Comes with a brake light switch. Pretty easy deal. Like I say, booster, 50 bucks, open box. Again, kind of no-brainer. Dual diaphragm, whatever. Should make a lot better brakes other than just, you know, the booster, or just the master cylinder. So yeah, might as well, whatever. Drill them holes real quick and get that bolted on there real quick. Should be just that simple. More brakes. So, got the old parts cab in here. That one's too good to part out over there. So I think we're gonna leave it alone. This is the other kind of one that I got laying around. And I don't think it's gonna be something that I'm interested in fixing. So I think we're gonna cut the front of it off here and make a sun visor for our cab. I think that'd be kind of cool. So I think we're gonna cut that up real quick. And I want the dash out of it. Gonna double up glove boxes. We're gonna change gauges on our cab and maybe cut that dash out. Got some good hood hinges here because we need to get our hood mounted. And I think after looking at this thing, I think we'll, reason why I'm kind of talking about all this, we'll make this into a future project, a little roadster cab or something. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here, get the look going, cut this stuff up, kind of save it up for later. But yeah, let's get her cut up, enough talking. Yeah, we got a roadster. That's pretty cool. Nah, it's not what we're here for though. Future projects. Got the dash and the roof cut off. Got the front cut out, worked out pretty good. Dash is there, critters were in there. So yeah, that's gonna work out pretty good, I think. It'll be hard to... Oh yeah, something like that maybe. A little hard to do, but that's what we're thinking, something like that. Got the dash, so we'll cut that glove box out and use that. Well, time to work on some exhaust. So it's hitting the tires. So we're gonna have to tip that flange a little bit. Hood scoop, what do you think of the hood scoop? Thoughts? I don't know, kind of growing on me. Anyways, so I'm gonna run these headers, but you sit in there nice. And that right there is flat. And that right there, it's all the clearance I got. I got about 1.5 to 2 inches, and that's might even be raised up just a little bit, but that's not full lock. I can't turn full turn, and that's sitting on the ground. So that's no bumps. That's no turning into gas stations and stuff. You know, I mean, you get the one wheel going up further than the other on like an incline. It's no good. So my plan is we're gonna cut those flanges off and we're just gonna tip them up, which I don't mind because from the side, we'll kind of get into that fender cut out there, and I think that'll look pretty good. Exhaust will run down through there, but we can tip them up about like that and we can double our room. So I think that'll be plenty of room and it won't look goofy. Again, that's kind of like where they should be sitting, or where they're sitting now. And if we bring them up to like there is what I'm thinking. So yeah, I'm gonna cut those flanges off, try not to ruin these headers. So saws off for the win. Not too bad, didn't scuff them up. Did the flanges, but had to grind them out anyways, and we're gonna have to re-weld them. So a little paint, show you how we did that. do you think? Mocked up. Looks good. Runs down with the fender line here, the old fender line, I guess. Or cut out, whatever you want to call that. The end's a little tipped off to one side a little bit, so we might have to cut that flange off and redo it. But yeah, it's on there. Got tons of clearance here now. Before we only had like a couple, 2, maybe 3 fingers. And now we got like 2 hands. So a little tight back there on the cab, but that's not going to hurt anything. If we were going to paint and bodywork that, it'd be concerning, but we're not, so it'd be just fine. Everything else clears good. So this is how I got there. And just here's my back pipe. I cut off a little sliver back there. You can see that little sliver. Then I cut off this, and that's how my distance. So should be the same for the other side. It's cutter. All right, that side's done too. Looks good. All right, I'm exhausted. I don't know what to say. We're gonna cliffhanger you. It's gonna have to be a part 2. We're getting lengthy on this video. Like, share, subscribe. Throw in a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Most importantly, come back for part 2. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time.